Alright, so the Road Atlanta Lap. Road Atlanta's a bit of a tricky track, a lot of up and down, left, right turns, and you get a bit of a rest down the back straight, but coming down into the first corner to start the lap, you want to go nice and wide on the entry and get a nice run down here all the way out to the left for the first right-hander. And coming into the right-hander, you want to place your car right on over the left and let it play through. And you can see I put the left wheels right over to the left and turn in. And I'm braking just after, or just into, as soon as I start to not see the grass on the left. So I'm braking sort of at the end of the pavement here, as you'll see as we slowly go through T1. It's about half brake, 40%, and trailing off very quickly down into 5th gear and straight back on the power as quick as you can. Getting the car nice and settled through the corner, ready for the blind right-hander that is turn 2 and 3. Getting the car out to the right. There's not really anywhere that I sort of placed the car. I guess I kind of used the windshield and I placed the car pointed at this blue I don't want to say veranda, but this blue little hut. And then as soon as I'm pointing at that hut, I'm turning in straight to the left for turn 2. And I try and get the tires on this blue. You've got to be quite careful on the brakes, not going over 40 or 50%. Otherwise, you'll lock very, very quickly. As you'll see, I get some of the tires, half of the tires up there, and taking for turn 3 half of that. Now you can definitely take a little bit more, which will increase your exit speed. This lap wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad either. As you'll see here, we'll go straight through, and I'm right on the limit of there. And you want to get 2 tires on the left here, but you want to come off it pretty quickly, because if you hold it all the way around, you'll find that you get a lot of oversteer coming off the curb. So you hold that nice, get off it, left, right. S's are pretty self-explanatory. Coming into turn 5 and 6 on the exit, I like to get use the curb on the left-hander here, and then especially in the Cadillac, I like to get on this curb on the right here. As you'll see, I am braking well before the curb, sort of braking around there is my braking marker. As you can see, I start to get a little bit of input here as we brake, and in the Cadillac you can see it seems that you can kind of ride the curb, so I like to get on it just a little bit, and turning left we get straight onto this curb on the left. You want to try and mount it as much as possible without getting onto the grass, because if you get onto that grass, you're gonna ruin your lap. Taking all the curb out on the right hand side, it's very tough to do this here. This curb can spit you out and throw you out left or right, especially on the first lap. You've got to be quite careful. You can see through here, I'm on as much curb as you can really take, and it spits me out wide. You've got to be careful, kind of time this perfectly. This is a little bit too much curb for what I'd usually like. If you go too wide and get on this gravel here, you're going to end up with an off track. And I usually want maybe half or 3/4 of the car on the curb, and then 2 tires kind of on this yellow line or on the asphalt that's on the left. Come out nice and stable. Avoid this little grassy patch, although you can dip a tire into it if you want to, but a little bit too much will give you that off track. As we come down into turn 6 and 7. Now this is an interesting one. So coming into turn 6, the braking point kind of differs. So you want to brake kind of in between these 2 lines here. These 2 here. Now you'll see I brake right, start braking hard sort of in the middle. Now I'd start on the first lap or so, I might brake at 200 or maybe at these little lines here, and then slowly but surely I'll start to brake a little later over here. But you can see that my braking, I start braking pretty much as soon as I've gone over that line. And you want to brake hard. Oh, sorry, I meant to say this here is 4th gear. 4th gear through here. And then coming down, shift up, and then you want to be in 4th gear for this turn as well. Downshift twice, got up to 6th gear. And going through here, we brake when we want to, downshift into fourth. And you want to stay off that curb. You used to be able to ride it, and it used to help the rotation, but I found that if you go on that curb, you're going to get a lot of understeer, and it's going to spit you out, and you're not going to have the rotation that you want. So ride that curb, ride along the side of the curb as much as you can. Get a nice exit out wide for turn 7, braking right at the end of this tire mark here, or you can brake at this one. It's a second gear corner, so brake now into second gear. Again, staying off this inside curb because it's a very strange curb. If I change the thing here, you can kind of see how it kind of dips away. So if you get the tire onto that curb, you're going to end up with a little bit of an issue. Getting nice and wide on the exit, taking just a little bit of curb. Long run down to turn 10. He's just flooring it all the way through. And then braking for turn 10. 100-meter board just before it. I like to try and brake. You can brake at the 100-meter board. This was a little bit earlier of brakes. Third gear. Entry is taking a lot of this inside curb. And then same on the exit. And you want to use all of this exit curb here as much as you physically can. Coming down, wide again, and across the line.